are these people?
The gaslighting and the more corporations behaving badly, profiteering, and the UN chief slamming fossil fuel sector for trying to use the Ukraine war to lock in a high carbon future. Even the United Nations is calling it out now. Okay? Yep. A shift to renewables is crucial to mending our broken global energy mix, offering hope to millions. But we have a problem. Let me make this bigger. And that is that the fossil fuel industry is trying to use Russia's war on Ukraine to boost polluters' profits at the expense of the global climate and all life on Earth. I love hearing that word. All life on Earth. Like, that doesn't mean that it's a pretty extreme problem or anything. Right? No. So, climate action advocates welcome the UN chief's message, including Bill McKibben, who, again, we have our own problems with 350.org and Bill McKibben. Okay, but Extinction Rebellion, we do like those guys. Newark and Sherwood. All right. Love to see any kind of blue check advocating and calling out the profiteering that's happening in the I'm getting an echo now. Like with what's happening in Ukraine. I mean, how they've jacked up gas and oil prices, how it's just been utilized as a tool, even though 7% of the oil and gas that comes from Russia, they've managed to increase prices by 30, 40, 50%. Partly inflation, partly profit, mostly profit. And again, where's all that profit going? Right now, it's only going into the coffers of the corporations. It's not even going to their shareholders yet. It's not being redistributed. It's just going into a bank account. All right. Putin's war has not only impacted Russians and Ukrainians, it's also disrupted the. See, this is what I don't like about Common Dreams. They have had this war 100% wrong. They've completely framed it in that it's Putin being the aggressor, and they have not really challenged the United States in its role in destabilizing, in the Maidan coup, in allowing for neo-Nazis, in helping to allow Zelensky to rise. I got a big issue with some of the things that what Common Dreams is ignoring here. However, this is absolutely true. I mean, any expansion of LNG,
they've done really good work on domestic stuff and stuff that's going on in Congress. But I agree with you. I've actually gravitated a little away from them because of this.
Yep. Consortium News, Moon of Alabama. There have been definitely some outlets. Popular Resistance has been doing a great job covering it as well. Again, I love Common Dreams. I love all the people there. It's not a knock on them. It's impossible to get every story 100% right. And and we can also disagree on this, but it seems that they're swallowing some of the Bellingcat intel talking points.
Well, we don't want them to turn into democracy now. And that's the thing.
God,
I'm
no.
trying to we gotta try to fight them to save their soul in a way. So I agree with calling them out a little bit because I agree with you on that. But you're right. I've showcased them multiple times. They do good domestic work and with the interworkings of Congress and calling out people. But you're right. They've missed the mark on the Ukrainian war. And if I may, by the way, the military industrial complex is by far the biggest producer of
pollution,
ozone depleting gases and all these. Right. So I
think a particular snake tries to tell that often.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly. So it's by funding war, not only are you funding war, which in and of itself is bad enough in destroying human lives directly, but you're also creating a climate crisis and exacerbating the climate crisis more than any other thing. So if we could stop with the war, we would not only save the lives that are lost by bombs being dropped, but also all of the future hundreds of thousands, millions, maybe hundreds of millions of lives that are going to be lost when the climate crisis really comes back to roost.
Yep. Yeah. So, again, this is why I wanted to tie this in and dovetail it, because as Common Dreams reported on Friday, and I think some people reported on it, but not enough, in my opinion, because Chevron's profits quadrupled and Exxon's doubled amid the Ukraine crisis. Again, this is just in the last couple of weeks and in the most recent quarter, 6.3 billion and 5.5 billion. All right, which is bolstering demands for a windfall tax, but that's only a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound, and it's temporary. The oil and gas industry is all for this because it's only going to give them, it's temporary. You know, they're going to go right back to record profits. So
yeah, and see, man, the first year and a half of Biden's presidency was gift wrapped for big pharma. And now the new thing is the Ukraine crisis, which capitalism will always figure out a way to make as much money as possible off of a crisis. So right now, what are the two big industries making money? It's a windfall for big oil, and it's a windfall for the weapons contractors.
Yep.
And they want their payday, the same as Big Pharma got their payday. And Biden is more than willing to do exactly what he's doing right now so that his corporate donors in big oil and Big Pharma and the weapons contractors are all going to get paid, son. They're all going to get fucking paid. Most of your viewers already know this, but Lloyd Austin, who's his Secretary of Defense, was on the board of Raytheon right before he got hired as the Secretary of Defense. And of course, all the people that you guys went over in the Taibbi article earlier.
And after he leaves, he's going to go become another board member for Raytheon again. It's temporary. Yep. It's a complete rotating, revolving door that everybody knows is going to happen. And do you think he's really not going to advocate for things to go to Raytheon in this period? Do you think he's going to recuse himself because he's got that conflict? Hell no. We all know this.
No.
So again, 5.5. That's $11.8 billion in profits during Q1 for Chevron and ExxonMobil alone. That's amazing.
And then you see, conversely, exactly what we do to people who fight Chevron in Steve Donziger. If you just happen to sue them for $10 billion, they'll ruin your fucking life. They'll ruin your fucking life, put you on house arrest for 993 days, smear your reputation, get you disbarred. They'll do everything.
The entire rule of law.
Yep, and then they won't. And then they not only will do that, they also won't pay the money that you're required to pay by law from losing the lawsuit. They still haven't paid a dime of that 9.5 billion to the Ecuadorian people. So it's just so we get an idea of exactly what happens to the people that challenge these big oil companies. They'll ruin your life, or for all intents and purposes, martyr you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they will marginalize you. They'll co-opt you. They will intimidate you. They will bully you. They will do whatever they have to get you to get off their back and to allow them to continue to do what they're doing and to allow the status quo to continue. And
that's exactly what Donziger was. He's a martyr. They make an example of you. Same as you make an example of Julian Assange, so that people think twice about going out there and telling the truth on some things. They think twice about suing Chevron or any of these big oil companies. You think twice about revealing that we kill 90% civilians with our drone strikes, which is what's Daniel Hale's in prison right now for. They martyr you. They'll ruin you if they can't smear your reputation. They'll literally ruin your life and put you in prison, solitary confinement.
Yep. On people who've never had to retract any it completely within their bounds, with rights given to everyone. They're willing to arrest and torture you for years and months just to make you that head on a spike. So
yeah, exactly.
It's crazy, and I wish the only reason why it's so scary is because you have no backup. No one wants to back you up. So I would like more people to start backing up the whistleblowers, and well,
that's what we do, and we are growing in number. Yep. We are legion.
100%.